Right now, Nike is facing some serious backlash. It's all over this new Just Do It campaign featuring Colin Kaepernick. And we're just learning the National Association of Police Organizations is calling for a boycott for all Nike products. And still, others are taking to Twitter, posting videos like this, showing them burning their Nike gear. John Rich of Big and Rich posted this picture saying his sound man just cut the Nike swoosh off his socks. But some are also applauding the brand's decision, like Serena Williams, who tweeted saying she's especially proud to be a part of the Nike family today. She's also featured in Nike's Just Do It campaign. So would you say, many people are saying, Bo, that this is brand suicide? Do you think that this is brand suicide?
I think it's extremely risky, and I can think of a lot of better candidates that I think Nike should have put up there. J.J. Watt, that's a sacrifice. Pat Tillman, that's a sacrifice. Even Tiger Woods. There are other people that I think deserve this far more than Colin did. And, you know, but ultimately this is about money. They're hoping that the people who don't boycott them double down and buy 2 and 3 times as much as the people who don't. It's a risky decision.
But some people would say that he sacrificed his entire career to stand up for his conviction, especially as a black man.
Yeah, I would say that Nike thinks they're on the right side of history on this one. What's interesting about this, I went back, they have been holding him since 2011, still paying him, waiting for the right time to come forward. It was right when his arbitration came forward. If you guys don't know, he's in a lawsuit because of the collusion of the NFL. He just won the first part of the arbitration. They're not throwing that out. Nike placed a bet, a big bet, a controversial bet, that it's more important, I think, to be on the right side of history than the wrong side. Imagine if they didn't pick this guy. It was the one guy they could have made a huge thing with, and they never signed him. Nike has a long history of sticking with. They stuck with Tiger Woods during the DUI. They stuck with Kobe Bryant during the rape case. They stuck with him and came out when they think the right side of history is down. They're down 2%, but so is Adidas. So let's not go.
You know what's
alarming?
But you know what's alarming about that is, you know, and you stated some criminal accusations, right? So people are aligning this. This is somebody who's standing up for what he believes is right. He's trying to call attention to police brutality and how black men are treated in this country. Yet some people are seeing him as so controversial, as Tori just stated, and you're right, as Tiger Woods in a DUI or as Kobe Bryant in a rape allegation. Right. Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely not. But I mean, it's funny in that boat that you said that Tiger Woods is more worthy than Mr. Kaepernick. I mean, he at the young age he is, he's already donated $1 million to charity. He had this 10 for 10 foundation where every celebrity matched $10,000 for every celebrity. Every $10,000 he donated. He has his own cause called Know Your Justice, where he
Know Your Rights.
Know Your Rights, where he has young people learn about the criminal justice system and how to interact with police better. So we have less interest. And he's done one other thing that we never talk about. He hasn't talked to the media because he does not want his message to be distorted in any way. And I think to compare him to Tiger Woods, who had a disastrous divorce because he was having sex with Perkins waitresses, and the last time we saw him, he was stumbling half asleep on a highway somewhere, is very insulting to Mr.
Why?
Kaepernick.
What about J.J. Watt and what he did?
No, but why are we comparing what J.J. Watt did
because,
with helping
it's a
raise
political statement.
But
because Colin is a political figure in and of himself.
But what J.J. Watt made wasn't a political statement. It's recovering from a hurricane. Those are two different things.
Let me paint a picture for you. About 100 years ago today, 1918, almost to the day, World Series between the Boston Red Sox and the Chicago Cubs. Babe Ruth is pitching a 1-0 shutout. It's right when the time that World War I had started. 7th inning stretch. The U.S. Navy band gets up there and fires up the Star-Spangled Banner. Third baseman named Fred Thomas for the Boston Red Sox, who's on furlough for the Navy, flips around, salutes that flag, all right? All the players look at him, they salute and put their hands over their hearts. The crowd, who's totally under duress by World War I, decides to also sing, and it winds up in a thunderous applause because that was a statement of unity and respect.
But
and it's
for white people.
No, for everyone.
No disregard.
In 1918, I can guarantee you that black people
have the right to vote.
And it's about respect, and that's what Mr. Kaepernick is doing, is disrespecting not just a flag, not just a song, but a national tradition.
You are deciding what the flag means to you.
I'm deciding what America has decided to be. This is from 1918.
I understand that, and that women didn't even have the right to vote at that point. Colin Kaepernick, you don't get to decide what the flag means. He thinks it means respect and liberty for all, and he's putting his face on it, his name on it.
I understand
if you
what
think
you're
he's
saying,
wrong,
but I think he's wrong.
Well, I have an executive from Adidas and Puma that came forward saying they also wanted Colin Kaepernick for their own campaigns. Here's a quote that they said. Put this up, you guys, just so you can see it. This is why they think they chose Colin Kaepernick. Do we have the quote? At the very end, he says, but just he's the most powerful in terms of moving the social needle. That's definitely part of the allure. What he is someone that is brave enough to make a stand and sacrifice. And for a lot of people,
Pat Tillman was brave.
Excuse me. For a lot of people, what he's doing is brave. You don't get to decide what the flag means to everyone. To
How about
him, this is brave.
Their slogan is "Just do it." They just blew it.
I disagree.
We're going to table this. I think this is a great conversation because everyone is having this conversation, as uncomfortable it is, as polarizing as it is at home. And we're going to continue the conversation in our fifth host because we're going to share your comments and then we can continue to chime in. And let's talk about it.
We talked about Nike featuring Colin Kaepernick in their new ad a couple minutes ago. And our DBL Nation has a lot to say. Nike shares are falling after the company revealed the controversial campaign. Some people on social media are already burning their sneakers. This story has DBL Nation fired up. Take it away, Sam.
All right, let's get right to your comments. And I just want to clarify that it's fallen 3%. So just so you know.
And Adidas has fallen 2.4.
And Under Armour is up 1.3. Let's be accurate.
Let's give the full range of everything.
Yeah.
Brandy from YouTube says.
Okay, so everything's off 1%. But yet we're reporting it like Nike's. Okay.
Brandy from YouTube says, if Nike supported him since the beginning, why did they keep it on the down low? Why now if they always supported him? What would you say to that, Al?
I don't think they've kept it on the down low at all. They've continued to pay him. They've made him the face of this movement. I think Nike's done the right thing here. And if people are worried about it, like Nike's a billion dollar global company. People burning their socks is going to do nothing to this company. So burn your socks or, like I said, give them to a vet. They probably need them.
Donate them, absolutely.
Very good point. Jody from Facebook says, good for Nike. People don't get, he's not protesting the flag, he's protesting the racists. That's really important here because when we say, what does kneeling mean to you? Well, it should mean what Colin Kaepernick means to him because he's the one kneeling. He's doing this not against veterans, not against the flag. He's doing to be very patriotic and having a peaceful protest. There's nothing more patriotic than a peaceful protest. What he is saying is there unfair violence against black people with the police brutality. That's something that we're now discussing because of him. Amen.
And Paula from Facebook says, I will never buy Nike. My husband served under that flag. They disrespect. So that's a great example of someone who does take it very, very personally. And a lot of Americans feel that way. You know, I thought it was a shame that Colin had Fidel Castro on a shirt of his at a press conference. He wouldn't even be able to have the conversation we are having right at this moment if he was living under Fidel Castro in Cuba. That's a shame.
But that's the whole point of him kneeling because he can do that in America.
But he's trying to broadcast a dictator, and I think that mixes the message up a little bit.
Are we going to talk about that with Putin?
I was just going to say, are we going to let Trump go?
Not, though.
Well, I don't know any players that had Putin on their shirt.
I know Trump yeah. Kiss. Yep.
See, this is uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable.
It is. This is an uncomfortable conversation.
You're absolutely right, Sam.
People take this very personally.
I'm not uncomfortable.
But it's okay that we have these uncomfortable conversations.
Sure. I'll go to, Brandon and I discussed this too. I want sports to be about unity, and I want them to be about respect. I mean, since 1918, even before that, America has valued winners. The Star Spangled Banner was written as a battle cry about winning, about how we won.
There's also a verse in that was taken out because it glorifies slavery.
Yeah, I know that's been brought up before, but the verses that we sing are not about that at all. Our flag was still there. It's about unity. It's about respect. It's what we collectively do to honor people that have served this country.
You don't think you honor the flag by having peaceful protests? You don't think that's honoring the flag and what it represents? That is the exact reason of what
that is his particular method.
And I think it's called peaceful protest.
It ticks off a lot of people when you do that, Tori.
That's the whole point of a protest.
Okay, well, it made him, would you say it cost him his career?
Nope, he's with Nike now, and he's doing very, very well. He still had the #1 selling jersey, even when he wasn't on a football team.
But he's in a collusion case right now trying to figure that out.
Which he just won the first part of the arbitration.
I think, if we can learn anything from this, and I hope we can, you guys, if we can galvanize this nation and understand that the day-to-days that I face are a lot different than what Al has to face. I've never feared. There's a lot of great police officers out there, so let me preface that. But I've never had to fear for my life when I'm being pulled over.
I just think it's so interesting that I have been assaulted by the police, and it's like, and it's, I've talked about it before, and it's, I don't always want to talk about maybe when we talk about issues like this, but it's just so interesting that you keep going back to 1918. I think that's so strange because that was a period where almost every every American, everybody that you see in this room right now was oppressed. All the people that all of our gay friends.
Look how far we've come, Al.
But you keep bringing up like that was the golden age.
No, that's
the
not.
Three people on the panel with you would not have been able to be at that baseball game. My friends that happen to be gay would not be allowed to be at that baseball game. My Latino friends would not be allowed to be, first of all, on that field or in those stands. So it's very interesting that you think that that was the golden age of this country.
That was the height of World War I. And look, let's fast forward. Let's make it modern. September 17th, 2001 was the first Major League Baseball game after September 11th. Everybody once again came together. That is a tradition and unity that Colin is disrespecting. You can say
disrespecting or interrupting.
Disrespecting.
I think he's interrupting as a patriot.
Well, that's your opinion, and you're entitled to it. If we both agreed that only one of us would be necessary, wouldn't it?
That's true.
Well, great discussion, you guys. Let's continue the conversation. Please, DBL, write us in. We always are reading your comments, and we'll be right back.